It begins with an intelligence agent who had been tracking a dangerous criminal gang for days. He discovered that the gang was hiding inside a pub in a corner of the city. Once he confirmed it, he immediately called the special forces and told them to get ready to take them all down in one strike. This wasn't an ordinary gang. It was a drug trafficking operation led by Kingpin Denny, a notorious figure in the underworld who had executed hundreds of risky operations. Before entering the drug lab, everyone had to wear gas masks because the room was full of chemicals being mixed to make drugs. Denny asked his men if the shipment was ready to be sent out quickly. His most trusted man, Broker, was next in line. Clever, calm, and undefeated in his missions, Broker was the one everyone relied on. Meanwhile, Denny's son Jojo, a careless young man, was lost in his world of drugs and parties. None of them realized that at that very moment, the special forces had surrounded the building. When the right moment came, an agent silently knocked out the guard at the gate, allowing the team to enter. As the agents carefully stepped inside, chaos broke out the moment the gang saw them. Everyone raised their hands and surrendered. The team moved directly toward the drug processing room, leaving the gang stunned. Suddenly, one of Denny's men fired a shot, but Broker quickly disarmed him and threw him to the ground. Everyone was shocked to see that the man was actually an undercover agent working for a special organization. Broker had spent months posing as a criminal to get close to Denny, with the ultimate goal of dismantling the gang from within. When Denny realized the truth, he pointed his gun at Broker, yelling that he was a police officer. Broker chased Denny, but along the way, he found an injured ally. Taking advantage of this, Denny and Jojo tried to escape by car, but escaping wasn't easy. Backup teams surrounded them. Denny had no choice but to turn the car around. Broker chased them on his bike and deliberately collided it into their vehicle, causing a huge explosion. Flames engulfed the car. Broker drew his gun and ordered them to surrender. He caught Jojo, who quickly pulled out a hidden gun. Broker shot Jojo in the leg, not to kill him, but to control him and ensure justice. He wanted both Denny and Jojo to face the law and live, not die. But the police fired recklessly, killing the man in front of Broker. Furious, Denny swore to destroy Broker and his family. The police chief claimed it was the law, but Broker's heart was broken. He threw down his badge and walked away, determined to leave missions behind and live a peaceful life with his daughter, Maddie. Weeks passed, and life seemed calm. Maddie was playing in the children's area when some boys started teasing her, taking her cap. She calmly asked them to stop, but they became more aggressive and pushed her to the ground. Maddie, angry but composed, fought back and defended herself. A teacher arrived just in time to break up the fight, and both sets of parents were called. Broker, repairing his house, received an emergency call from the school. His heart sank, fearing Maddie was hurt. On arriving, he learned it was only a children's quarrel, but the other boy's parents were furious. His mother shouted and cursed at the principal, something she had done before. Broker didn't argue. He disliked fights, but when he asked Maddie why she had acted that way, she replied, "Dad, I did it to protect myself." Her calm courage was something she had inherited from her father. Broker realized he had partly trained her in self-defense. Recently, Maddie had also been grieving the loss of her grandmother, making her even stronger outwardly, despite her inner pain. As father and daughter left the school, they encountered the angry parents of Jimmy, the boy Maddie had defended herself against. His father stepped forward, ready to start a fight, but the police arrived just in time to prevent anything from happening. Broker couldn't do much in the moment. That woman was egging her husband on from behind. "Teach her a lesson," she seemed to say, but the police later confirmed that Broker had acted in self-defense, so no case was filed against him. Still, the incident made Cassie a sworn enemy of Broker's family. Her pride and anger had been deeply hurt, and she decided that she would never let Broker and his daughter live in peace. Cassie asked her older brother, Gator, for help. Gator was a cunning and ruthless local drug lord who ruled his territory with an iron fist. Anyone who interfered in his business would be eliminated. Once, some teenagers made their own drugs, which angered Gator. He feared that if everyone started making their own, who would buy his legal earnings? In rage, he twisted one boy's leg and warned the others. If they ever gathered to take drugs again, he would kill them. Terrified, the boys ran away. Meanwhile, Broker was putting his daughter Maddie to bed. He told her softly, "You did great today. What you did was absolutely right." Maddie felt happy but also worried. "Dad, I hope nothing bad happens to you because of this fight." Broker smiled. "Sweetheart, it's just a small trouble. I've seen bigger battles than this." On the other side, Gator returned home, and Cassie told him the full story from that morning. Gator shrugged. So what if he got hit a few times? That's nothing. But Casey was furious. She wanted Gator to go teach Broker a lesson. Feeling pity for his sister, Gator agreed. He even gave her some drugs to keep her in control. Everything seemed calm again, like the quiet before a storm. Broker continued taking Maddie to school and horse riding lessons. He often had light conversations with Susan, the teacher, who seemed to crave a companion during her lonely moments. One day, he even invited her to Maddie's birthday party. Susan advised him, "If you want Maddie's school life to be smooth, make peace with Casey and Gator." Broker decided to meet Jamie, who worked as a foreman in Gator's factory. Jamie was actually a decent man, but his wife wanted him to act tough to intimidate people. Seeing Broker, Jamie was surprised, and Broker said, "Let's make peace. Tell me what I need to do. I'm ready." Jamie just asked Broker to apologize to their family, which he agreed to immediately. Jamie smiled. "All right, you're good to go." Everything seemed back on track, but on his way home, Broker stopped at a petrol pump. The owner was busy, so Broker started filling the car himself. Suddenly, two of Gator's goons showed up, trying to force him to give them petrol first. Broker calmly said, "It'll take just 2 minutes. I'm almost done." One of the goons lost his temper and threatened him. When the owner tried to intervene, it was too late. Broker punched the first goon in the stomach and slammed his head against the petrol pump. The second one tried to attack, but Broker overpowered him as well. When Broker asked who had sent them, they stayed silent. He didn't cause more trouble and left quietly. Meanwhile, Gator was in his lab processing drugs when he got a call. Broker had beaten his men badly. Enraged, Gator vowed to handle Broker himself. Broker, meanwhile, went to pick up Maddie from school. She noticed a minor injury on his hand and asked, "Dad, what happened?" Broker laughed it off. But as they drove off, a police car stopped them. It was Keith, the city's police chief, and an old acquaintance of Gator. Keith warned him, "You're new here. Don't draw attention." He knew Broker wasn't an ordinary man. He had special forces skills. After the police left, Broker drove home with Maddie. She began her horse riding practice, and everything seemed normal, yet danger was very close. Gator had already hidden near Broker's home. He punctured Broker's car tires and sneaked inside, searching for any information linked to Broker. A file revealed all the details of Broker's past agency work. Meanwhile, Maddie was looking for her pet cat, which had gone missing. Broker noticed the tires had been slashed with a knife. This was a clear warning. Danger was now at the doorstep. Gator had discovered Broker's true identity and was preparing to strike. When Gator learned that Broker had caused the death of Denny's son, his blood boiled, and he was ready to take action. Gator wasn't just angry, he was burning with the fire of revenge. He called his old girlfriend Cheryl, who worked efficiently and had deep connections in the underworld. Gator laid out the full plan in front of her. Broker, it turned out, had been an undercover agent all along, destroying Denny's entire gang from the inside. Now it was time for payback. Gator promised that once the revenge was complete, the drug business would run openly, and they would both become rich. Cheryl went to Nyao, Denny's men, and handed over all the information and evidence she had about Broker. Even though Denny was in jail, his eyes and hands still controlled the city. He ordered his men clearly, "Do not spare the man who killed my son." Meanwhile, Broker noticed his cat was missing and the car tires had been slashed. He suspected Jamie at first, but quickly realized Jamie had no part in it. His friend later confirmed that Gator could go to any extreme. The next day at school, Broker apologized to Casey, and the kids made up. Casey began to understand Broker's true character and even allowed Teddy to attend Maddie's birthday party. After the party, Broker politely said goodbye to Casey and her son. But Gator got wind of this. He rushed to Cassie, shouting that Broker should be avoided or there would be consequences. Teddy, witnessing this, realized Gator was planning something big. Broker contacted his old allies and finally learned the truth. Gator, along with Kingpin Denny, was conspiring against him, and assassins had already been sent to his city. Broker knew now that this fight was not just his. His daughter's life was at risk too. The next morning, he tracked down Gator. Gator was sitting with Cheryl at a table. Broker went straight to the point. "Whatever you plan to do it with adults. Don't involve the kids." Gator tried to act innocent, pretending not to understand. Broker's patience snapped. Was it you who destroyed my house, slashed my tires, and made my daughter's cat disappear? If this doesn't stop next time, it won't be warnings, it will be bullets." He left, then sneaked into Gator's drug lab. The place looked just like Denny's old factory. Under a desk, Broker found hidden white powder and quickly made some petrol bombs, planning to destroy the lab. Just as he spotted Maddie's missing cat and reached to grab it, someone pressed a gun to his temple. Broker, however, wasn't an ordinary man. He twisted sharply, disarmed the attacker, and punched him hard in the stomach, knocking him out with his own gun. Suddenly, two more of Gator's men attacked from behind, the same ones he had dealt with at the petrol station before. They tied Broker's hands and tried to drown him, attempting to break him by sheer force. But the moment they threatened his daughter, the father inside him roared awake. He freed himself and attacked. All three men jumped on him, but Broker was no ordinary fighter. Years of training as a former agent made him deadly. He fought fiercely, punching one, stabbing another's hand with a knife, and kicking the third into a water tank. Realizing the fight had escalated, he sent Maddie to a safe spot and instructed his friend Tito to take the horses somewhere secure. Outside, Denny's assassins were hiding around the house. Tito sensed movement and attacked one trained killer. The man resisted, but Tito managed to stab him with a metal hook and blew the car horn to signal Broker. The lead of the assassins, Sus, watched everything unfold. Gunfire erupted, and Tito fell to the ground. Broker immediately picked up Maddie, hid her in a corner, and told her to call 911 and stay put until he returned. Maddie, though terrified, steadied herself and quietly waited, trusting her father to come back. Broker retrieved an old handgun from his briefcase, a weapon he hadn't used in a long time. Through the window, he saw a man dressed in black trying to break in. As soon as the intruder opened the door, Broker fired a bullet that hit him squarely. The gunfire startled Maddie, revealing her hiding spot. One assassin saw her and broke through the door to get inside. A stray bullet missed the assassin, and Maddie took the chance to run away. Broker realized the situation had become life-threatening for his daughter. He leapt from a floor above and attacked the first man, but another assassin was already chasing Maddie. Broker was about to stop him when Cyrus fired a shot from behind. Broker returned fire and managed to shoot the man in the head before he could harm Maddie. Maddie ran in terror until she reached the boathouse, where she found Cheryl. Cheryl calmly said, "I don't harm children," and took Maddie into the forest for safety. Meanwhile, a dangerous fight erupted between Broker and Cyrus. Cyrus pulled a knife while Broker was unarmed, but defeating Broker was never going to be easy. He twisted Cyrus's wrist and drove the knife multiple times, like tearing apart a rubber dummy. Then the story took a shocking turn. Cheryl, who had been pretending to be innocent, revealed her true colors. She forced Maddie into a boat and escaped, leaving Broker no choice but to chase her. By the time he turned back, the police had arrived. Broker explained to them that intruders had attacked his house and kidnapped his daughter. Almost immediately, he got a call from 911. The police chief told Broker to stay calm and instructed Maddie to watch her surroundings carefully and give any clues. Even though the call got cut off, Maddie was smart. She took a battery from her radio, put it in her phone, and reconnected with her father. "Dad, there are huge fans here where I am," she said. Broker understood instantly. She was in Gator's drug lab. Determined to save her, Broker stole a police car and raced toward the warehouse. Inside, Cheryl told Gator, "Broker has already handled everyone else. Now his daughter is in my hands." Gator turned pale, realizing Broker would come for revenge. He shouted at Cheryl that it was too risky. The police would catch them or Broker would destroy them all. At that moment, Casey and her husband arrived, angry at Gator for acting like a mafia boss. Casey heard Maddie's voice from inside. As she switched on the lights, a massive explosion ripped through the warehouse. Broker had planned it. Turning on the lights ignited gasoline, blowing up the entire place. Casey somehow managed to save Maddie, but Gator lost control in his rage and attacked her. In the struggle, he accidentally shot his own sister, then forced Maddie into a car and drove off. Broker immediately gave chase. Gator rammed a police car with his vehicle, flipping Broker's car into the air. As he was about to cross a bridge, the police chief had it closed, but Gator stubbornly broke through the barrier. Broker followed, though his car hit the railing and flipped. Gator, now insane, approached Broker with a gun. Maddie ran to protect her father, standing in front of him. Gator threatened her, but Broker suddenly tackled him, knocking him down with a powerful punch. Blood covered Gator's face as Broker aimed his gun, ready to finish him, but when he saw his daughter, he stopped. He couldn't let Maddie witness anyone's death. It was finally over. Gator and Cheryl were taken into police custody. Causey survived, and Maddie was safe. But Broker's fight wasn't done yet. He went straight to jail to confront Denny, warning, "When you get out, we will settle this." And that's where the story ends.